Beautifuls. I'm Lauren, the senior textile designer and portrait illustrator behind the brand laurenlesleystudio. I've been a designer for over 10 years and have designed textiles sold by Anthropologie, Target, and some of my designs have received over 20,000 likes on West Elm's Instagram, which is really exciting. In this video, I'm going to explain what does a textile designer actually do. And I'll go into detail about the 6 key job responsibilities of a textile designer. Make sure to watch the whole video because I have a little surprise goodie for you at the end. Like it, leave a comment, and of course, subscribe to my channel, please. All right, let's get started. So textile designers basically have 6 job responsibilities, and the first one is print and pattern. So textile designers are expected to be talented print and pattern designers. They should know how to create repeats in Photoshop and Illustrator. Although not every textile product requires a repeat, it's still something you should know how to do just in case it comes up or there's a new product that you need to design a repeat for. Textile designers draw new motifs, create multiple colorways of existing designs, and arrange layouts in the CAD to come up with the best composition for that product. You should be comfortable presenting your designs and receiving feedback for improvements. So responsibility number 2 is creating color palettes. So Pantone is the universal color language for all designers, and they all have different color systems for different material applications. So for example, textile designers typically use Pantone chips in paper, cotton, or polyester, but a graphic designer may just use the standard PMS colors. Oftentimes the factory will dye custom fibers to the Pantone chips that you selected for your palette. So it takes a lot of time and energy for the factory to custom dye yarn and fibers, so it's better to work with a limited color palette of, I would say, about 20 to 30 colors at the most. And this way the factory can bulk dye the yarn and it won't go to waste because they know that you're going to be sticking to this range of colors. And from there, they'll send you yarn palms to work with as you're designing your collection of textiles. So sometimes the little paper chips in Pantone are hard to compare to fabric. So that's why the factory will send you yarn palms in the material that you're actually requesting. Wool tends to dull down colors a bit, whereas something like silk may make the colors more vibrant or viscose. Responsibility number 3 is product development. So on top of color and design, textile designers are sometimes expected to bring their construction and fiber knowledge into play. So when you're designing the product that you're working on, can you apply a different type of weave to your product? Or can you add fringe or tassels and give it a little jazz? Is it possible to create a high-low effect or add some texture? So sometimes companies will keep separate departments for design and product development, but in my experience as a textile designer, it's always been more of a combined role. So the 4th responsibility is custom versus line projects. So textile designers will often be expected to juggle custom projects with line projects. And custom projects basically just means that you'll be working with either a private label client, such as a retailer like Pottery Barn or, I don't know, The Gap. or a custom project could mean that you're working with a licensor, someone like Orla Keeley or a very well-known design brand. And you will be responsible for bringing their artwork and vision to life in the textile products that you specifically work on. So line projects are collections of textiles developed for the company's brand. So any client can shop line products. That basically means that you're creating a collection of products for market. You're bringing those products to market, and then any buyer, any customer can shop your main line and then just kind of pick those and order it, and then it's off the shelf. It's exclusive to them. So this is where your creativity and ideas have a chance to be made into samples and potentially bought by a retailer or even an e-commerce site. Sometimes they're exclusive, sometimes they're not. It really just depends on the company. So an e-commerce site such as Wayfair, for example, is not probably going to have exclusivity to a line product, but if it was a retailer like Pottery Barn, they probably would. So responsibility number 5 as a textile designer is market week. So textile designers are usually heavily involved in both setup and the actual market, which means you could be spending a week or more away from home. Setup involves styling display areas and arranging products around the showroom for a beautiful presentation. So during the actual market, textile designers may be expected to interact with customers and assist sales reps with product info and explaining design and technical details. So sales reps are really great at understanding the pricing and the MOQs and really the sales side of the product. But when a buyer comes to market, they want to know the full picture. So it's great for a designer to kind of be the wingman for the sales rep and explain all of the design and product information. They will learn it, but especially if it's a brand new product and they don't have the history of 3 months of working on it like you have, they might be a little bit rusty, whereas you're going to really be able to go into detail explaining that product. So responsibility number 6 is trend research. So trend research is a big part of any textile designer's job. Competitive research can start at market when you're there by walking the show and seeing what competitors are showing in their trend displays. So further trend research is done online by poring over sites like Pinterest, design blogs, and trend websites like WGSN. Trend shopping involves compiling a list of high-trend boutiques and stores to visit from which you can get a good idea of what's new in the marketplace. So there you can go around to different, boutiques in town, some places that are really, again, high trend, and snap some photos with your cell phone. Now, this doesn't mean that you're snapping photos with your cell phone to copy anything. It's more to get a general idea of what color palettes and design styles are really hot and selling in the marketplace. So your employer may also even send you to trend shows like Maison Objet in Paris to be ahead of the curve for trend analysis. So that is it, guys. That's the main primary 6 responsibilities of a textile designer. So if you have any further questions or comments, please leave me a comment down below and I will be sure to answer any of your questions. And if you just like this video, leave me a heart emoji or something cute like that. It would make my day. Or if you have any other suggestions of new videos that you want to see, definitely leave me a comment down below. So to get notified after you subscribe to my channel, of course, assuming that you already have, click the little bell because that will notify you every time I come out with a new video. And don't worry, guys, I'm not coming out with a new video like every day. It's more like once a week at the very most, even more like once a month sometimes, depending on what's going on. So to check out my website, go to laurenlesley.com. You can find all of my design work there, illustration, and textile work. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at laurenlesleystudio. Join our Facebook group. It's called the Design Tribe, Lauren Lesley. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.